Hi. Hi, travelers. This is our video in response to where the hell have you been? So, I'm going to give you a quick recap. I'm not going to get into all of it, but I'll give you a quick recap just to explain my absence for the past year and tell you what the plan is going forward, give you a cancer update, all of that nonsense. So, where have I been for the past year? So when you've been doing travel content for a while and it's been 6 years of this for me, I started this with a 4-year-old and now I've got an 11-year-old. We kind of started putting some roots down more locally where we live. And I got the idea into my head to open a brick and mortar business here. And it's like, I'll just do it alongside everything else that I'm doing. And it was a cat cafe. It was amazing. We did amazing things. We adopted out 50 cats in 2025. 2025, we had our town's first Pride event. We had a lot of amazing things, cat yoga, sound baths, tea parties. We basically ran it in conjunction with a tea room. I ran the tea room and the cat cafe. It just happened to be two businesses side by side, so I actually took on two businesses. It just proved to be too much. We're a small local town. I think that it would have been a lot more practical in a city. It was a great success. I think the town loved it. People loved it, but we probably just, when it comes down to it, needed more foot traffic, along with the fact that I needed to be able to hire more help than what we could budget to do. I needed a manager that could help me, and I was doing the social media, the marketing, the advertising, working there, running the events, all of the things and all of the behind the scenes stuff. And it just became too much for me to do, or it started out too much for me to do, and I wasn't able to offload it the way I thought I would. I thought it would grow, and by the year mark I could hire a manager or something like that. But I think being in a small town, it didn't grow as much as I anticipated it would. We had to make the call on if we were going to be able to keep the doors open. In that time, we did those 50 adoptions, which was amazing to get cats into homes, and we were partnered with our local shelter. But the building was also going up for sale, and it was causing a lot of uncertainty. We couldn't find anything else to get into where the rent was even somewhat affordable. So in September of 2025, we made the call to close the doors. Very happy to have had that experience, very happy to have done what we did for the animals, for the community, for myself. It was a fantastic experience. I don't feel like it was a failure, but financially, it just wasn't going to make sense to keep going the way we've been going. And personally, energy-wise, I was burning out and wasn't able to sustain what that was. So anyway, that's where I've been for the past year doing that. We signed the contract, the lease, September of 2024. And then, I don't know if you're not from around here, basically Western North Carolina was hit real hard with Hurricane Helene. And I think that played a little bit of a part. Other businesses in the area did note that just tourism was down. So that probably played a little part in the amount of traffic that we were able to get through and people coming in. And I wonder if things would have been different if that hadn't happened. But basically, our plan was to open in November, and we ended up opening a few weeks early to host support groups with cats and people, support groups for people with cats. So that people could come and play with the cats and have a soothing animal experience. And we had a social worker come in and lead some group sessions just for people that had been victims of the hurricane. Some of them had lost their homes in the hurricane. Some of them were displaced or had to give up their animals and that kind of stuff. So basically, we opened up sooner than anticipated and kind of just hit the ground running, ran events, ran the tea room events, ran cat side events. It was amazing, but it was a tornado for about a year. So we ended up closing in September, and it was bittersweet, but I have been doing a lot of work on healing my nervous system and recovering from burnout and that kind of stuff. So that's where I'm at currently. What other updates do I have? We still did some travel. We went to our family had a lot of big milestone birthdays this year. A couple people turning 40, so we went on some birthday trips and met family out. We of course made it to Disney. We ended up doing a surf camp in San Diego. That was super fun. We did go to Hawaii, and you've seen content from those trips. I tried to at least keep up a little bit. But the plan going forward is to kind of use the tools and the life experience that I've gained. And I will be back on this account posting more travel content because that's always been close to my heart and something that we will absolutely continue sharing. I think we're going to be working on some slow travel, how to travel and protect your nervous system and anxiety and traveling with kids and how that can, that's all intertwined. So some of the stuff we did, you'll get your travel humor, you'll get your, if you've seen the recaps or the 2026 resolution videos that I put out yesterday about, what you can go into 2026 with your travel resolutions being. Those are more like tongue-in-cheek, being a little sassy with those, but it felt good to start going through my videos and my content and making some stuff again. So we'll be back more for the travel stuff. So be sure to subscribe and follow. If you are into imperfect travel with kids, making mistakes, learning as we go, figuring out how to do it in a sustainable way, a healthy way, a way that, you take a week off from work to go travel and you don't come back and end up sick for a week because you just went too hard. So we don't do perfect travel. We don't do perfect outfits. We don't do white clothes and no stains. I'm sure you've heard some of the stuff that has happened to us on trips, and we just kind of roll with it. But give you a cancer update, and then I will give you a plans for 2026 update. So I had a big doctor's visit in August. So August is kind of the anniversary. I had my stem cell transplant a little over 3 years ago. And I, after last year, should have been done basically with imaging. They're basically, after 2 years of imaging and checkups and remission, there's no reason to really do more imaging unless someone's symptomatic. So unfortunately, I started experiencing some symptoms and I wasn't sure what they were or what was going on. As a lot of you know, the stem cell transplant and the chemo leading up to that put me into basically medical menopause, premature menopause at 39 years old. And it's just so hard because the lymphoma symptoms that I have had in the past, and many people have, are so vague that it's a lot of different things in different systems of your body, and you don't really know how to connect it or if it's a certain thing. And that's probably why it took me 2 years to get diagnosed, was, it would be a cough here and itchy legs and weird things happening. So it's really hard to put it all together. But menopause does a lot of symptoms, especially like the night sweats. And that's one of the things that increased for me that we didn't know what was necessarily going on. So that was kind of over the summer, and my doctor said, let's just play it safe and come up here, get imaging. So I flew up to New York in August and did blood work, a visit, imaging, so another CAT scan, and fortunately things checked out. It was, random symptoms from whatever, we can blame it on, an illness or menopause or whatever it was, but things on the lymphoma front looked clear. I'm still in remission. The doctor thinks that I will continue to be in remission and that my chances are fantastic at this point. So that is great. And we're going to continue on that road. And it was kind of, gave me a peace of mind to hear that, to have the imaging to really confirm that. As a lot of you know who have been through this kind of stuff, that scanxiety is real. The not knowing, the wondering every time you get a little something off in your body, and you either have to stuff it down so you don't freak out about it, or decide to bring it up to the doctor so that things can get checked out. So anyway, all clear on the cancer front. It's been fantastic to hear that news and to feel like I can keep moving forward. That said, I do feel like I'm still in recovery. I'm still moving a lot slower towards not my old self, because I don't know that that's ever a goal that I'm going to be able to reach, but feeling